Let's discuss how to set up your Accel Dataplane in this video. The steps to set up Dataplane on AWS include the initial setup in ADOC, then uploading the YAML file to the S3 bucket, then creating a policy, creating a role, and finally creating a stack. Once you sign in, click Data Sources from the top navigation bar. Now from the Data Sources page, click the Dataplane tab. Click the Setup Dataplane button and then fill in the necessary details for your AWS Dataplane installation. Now click the Submit button once all the fields have been entered. A .yaml file will be downloaded into your system. Now from the pop-up that appears, click the Proceed button and you'll be directed to your AWS account. You can either select an existing S3 bucket or create a new one by opening a new tab in your AWS console. Now select the values.yaml file for the Dataplane and click the Upload button to upload. After the file has been uploaded successfully, now you'll have to return to your S3 bucket and copy the S3 URI of the newly added file. Now before moving on, you must first create a policy and role in your AWS console as a prerequisite to creating a stack in your CloudFormation template. As a reference, a document containing the steps for creating a policy and role is provided to you. Now let's look at how to make a policy and a role. Start by creating the policy. From the AWS console, select the IAM service and then policies from the Access Management tab on the left. On the Create Policy page, click the Create Policy button and then the JSON tab. You should now copy and paste the policy JSON code provided in the document. After that, you can add tags if necessary, or click the Next button to review the policy by giving it a name and a description. Finally, simply click the Create Policy button to add the newly created policy to your policy dashboard. Let's give the policy a role now. From the left, select roles and then the Create Policy button. In this case, we must create a custom trust policy role. Replace the custom trust policy JSON script in the document with the one provided. On the next page, select the newly created policy and then click Next. We'll give the role a name and a description on the next page. Now finally, click the Create Role button. Now go back to the Accel Data Control plane and click Proceed. This will then redirect you to your AWS CloudFormation page. And in order to complete the setup of your data plane, we must provide some details. In order to provide stack information, we must first enter the following parameters. First is stack name and then is virtual private cloud configuration type. You can either use an existing virtual private cloud or create a new one. I'll be creating a new VPC. Next, we have EKS cluster configuration. Here, we'll have to alter the name that is currently set, but the remaining parameters I will not be changing in this section. For EC2 configuration, you can either choose if you want an on-demand or spot instance, and you can also change the size of the instance type. Now for the Helm value configuration, you'll have to paste the previously copied S3 bucket path URI. For job path configuration, you can adjust and make necessary changes as needed. Finally, we have the analysis service result storage. Now you'll have to enter the path to the S3 bucket where you want to save and read the analysis results. And in order to grant write permissions to your S3 bucket, you must also provide an AWS access key and secret key. Now you'll have to enter the Amazon Web Services region where the S3 bucket is hosted. To configure stack options, click the Next button. You only need to change the permission settings here by selecting the IAM role name that corresponds to the EKS role name provided in the previous step. And in the following page, you can see all of the parameters that you have specified in the previous steps. Now once your data plane is set up, you can provide any additional information needed to test your data source connection. And after a successful connection, you can select either compute, data reliability, or both capabilities to provide the necessary details to add the data source to your dashboard. Our data source has been created now, as you can see. Now let's run the Axle data crawlers to retrieve the metadata from your data source lake.